much for joining us for Beltane. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome Oliver Bug. Welcome Dee Dee. Welcome Gailey. I hope I said your name right. Welcome Chizka and Naku Jahanbu. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best to say your guys' names right. I do apologize. And welcome Anathema. So excited. Beltane. Yay! Blessed Beltane, everybody. It's so good to have you guys here with us. So today we're just going to kind of kick back, relax, and do some Beltane Dragon readings to celebrate. And also I think we're gonna open this on live today. I've been trying to find the time to open this. If you guys are not sure, these are the new like hatchling blind boxes. They are together with Long, I think. I can't read the other language, but we're definitely going to be opening this one. I have one of them right here. So if we do pull the same one, we'll be giving away any duplicates in the Hatchling Clan Discord server. All you got to do is join the Hatchling Clan Discord server. It's free for you to enjoy because everyone deserves dragons, by the way. It's the first link in the description here on YouTube, and it is the first link in my website directory here on TikTok. So you definitely aren't going to want to miss joining us, and we are almost at 1,000 members. I cannot believe it. And we're going to be doing a $100 giveaway then too. So we got all these amazing plans for you guys. We just love the dragons and want to celebrate them. So without further ado, we're just going to do a quick opening reading for the collective before we start taking questions. And I will be jumping back and forth between TikTok and YouTube so everybody gets a chance. And these are free, by the way. All you need is a question, okay? Like always whenever I do free readings, they're always going to be live, okay? Anytime I do live readings, they'll always be free. I think that's what I meant to say. But I'll never message you, okay? So don't get scammed, all right, my loves? So here we are. What is the message from the Beltane Dragons for the collective today? They're already jumping out at us, so let's see. This one is the Gothic Oracle by Anne Stokes. Love her cards and her art, and it's just incredible. First we have Prayer for the Fallen. This is beautiful. Um, wow, what a heavy way to open up the live. I just wanted to, the initial like feeling I got from this is just we need to be remembering everybody who are fighting for their lives right now. And if we are in the comfort of our own homes, if we have, food in our bellies and we're surrounded by those that we love and a roof over our head, it's incredibly important for us to be so grateful of that privilege and to not forget how much of a privilege that is. And it's so important for us to remember those who have fallen and fought so hard not only for our rights, but also those who are fighting to keep our rights right now. It's so incredibly important for us to remember this. And how can we remember the fallen? How can we honor them and help them in their fights when we might not really know what to do? Because sometimes we just don't know what to do. We want to help, but we don't know what to do. So how can we do that? Fantasy Forest. See, this initial like feeling that I got from the Fantasy Forest card is it's really important for us to keep our spirits high right now. It's so incredibly important for us not to fall into despair right now, especially as a collective. A lot of people, might feel guilty, right? Being joyful and feeling like you have opportunities and a beautiful life ahead of you. This might make you feel guilty for these blessings, but it's important to remind you that in times of extreme darkness, in times of struggles, in times of, you know, turmoil and, war, hopefully you don't get banned for saying that, but it's important for us to remember that being joyful, being optimistic, being happy, being positive, being a source of light is an act of courage. It's an act of revolution. And it's an act of, standing against those that wish us to be small and wish us to be, suffering, and want us to be afraid and want us to be in fear. Like, the most important thing we can do right now, my loves, is to be brave and to be joy and to embody that essence of, smiling and light and love and laughter because this helps balance out the horrible things that we see in our world today. Don't let your algorithms make you depressed. Don't let them, bring you down. Don't let them do anything like that. You have to remind yourself that if you are having your needs met if you're in the comfort of your own home, if you have an internet connection, you have warm food, you have a roof over your head, it's your time to be optimistic and look forward to the future. So that is an incredibly intense opening for this stream, but it's very much needed. I think, you know, it's good to be lighthearted, it's good to be full of laughter, it's good to be full of joy, but it's also important to remember and be aware of just what's going on within our world and how we can, actively help fight that. So I'm going to scroll through these questions here. We're going to start with YouTube, but if you have any questions, all right, my friends, just leave a question. It's all free for you guys to enjoy tonight. Happy Beltane. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. Zara, hello. It's so good to see you back up on my feet. Yay, Emily. It's so good to see you. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Oh, Dara, my love. It's so good to see you. We have not been live in a very long time. I've been dealing with a lot of health issues, but we are actually finally okay. And we're going to try and do these live streams, maybe not every single day, but that is the goal, to try and get doing our lives every day again. But at least once a week, my friends, okay? So we're gonna start with YouTube and then we will jump over to TikTok, starting with Odera on TikTok, and then here on YouTube we have Anathema asks, I have a question about my career and which path I should pursue. Let's see, my friend. We're going to use, I believe this is called the Dragon Wisdom Oracle. Let's see, I can't remember the name of the artist, so let me just pull it out. Oh, by Christine Anna Fader. So one of my absolute favorite decks if you have not had it yet. So yeah, it's just one of the really good ones. So what about your career and the path that you should pursue? I'm not sure, but let's see if the dragons have any sort of wisdom for us. Ooh, the theme is already prayer for this reading, for this session. So we pulled prayer for you. And we pulled this beautiful card of this purple dragon with candles and a scroll under its claws. And it looks like it's in a cavern. It's a really beautiful, beautiful card. And it's really important when you are thinking about your career and what path you should take to do these prayers. You know what I mean? Not only like if you pray to like a god or something like that, everybody has their own experience, their own journeys, right? But if you don't like pray to a deity, or if you don't like worship a certain god, or you are more of an atheist, that's okay. You can also just make a prayer for yourself. Like, I know for me too, a lot of the acts that I do sometimes is praying to my higher self for like advice and trying to tap in with where I'm at in the future, right? Where I want to be in the future. And this is something that I think that a lot of people forget, is that there is no such thing as past, present, and future. All we have is right here, right now. And any single part of your life, any single, place that you've ever been in your lifetime is happening right here, right now, all at the same time. And I know that's a little tricky and confusing to kind of like grasp sometimes, but I'm doing my best to explain it. And the version of you following the career that you want and the path that you should follow already exists. And the way we get there is by tuning into the feelings that we would have when we're already there. So, when it comes to deciding a path for you, when it comes to deciding where you want to go, ask yourself, what do I want to feel within my career? How do I want it to make me feel? How do I want it to be experienced every single day? What kind of little tiny details, too, would feel to me having this experience daily within this career path? And I'm also going to pull just some clarity cards from the Dragon Magic Messages by Lucy Cavendish. I love these so very much. And we have Dragonborn. We have sheltered magic for millennia now, and it is nearly time for its rebirth. Feel hopeful, human child. There will soon be a wondrous moment from which a new world will be born. Yeah, dude, we're in what my guardians call like an incubation phase, right? And all this means is that we're in this like gestation period from the previous life that we were living. We've made choices into where we want to go. We're in this transition and we're waiting until this new version of our lives is ready to come through. And I definitely feel this way too. I feel like, even just where I'm at in my life right now, unfortunately, making videos like this is really kind of pushing it for my safety. And I hate that I even have to say that. Um, but soon I won't be in that situation, and that transition is really scary, right? So when it comes to, your career or the path that you're supposed to take, it's so important to remind yourself that it is already waiting for you, like I said, and it's important to tune in with who you are, who you're born to be, right? Like the purpose of you, the purpose of your future was written on your heart when you were born, and it's our journey throughout this lifetime to experience that and to explore that and to see what that like may have in tune for us, which may have what's the word in store for us, right? Like it's only our journey that we could explore and experience and like uncover. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's really important to remind yourself that you are already the compass that you're looking for. So I really hope that that helped. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. It's been so long since I've been here, and doing readings is like my absolute favorite thing in the world. So I just like couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity. But we're gonna pop over to TikTok for the questions here. Odira has advice on how I should deal with my dynamic with C. Ooh, we're ready for this one. Let's tap into the Star Dragon Oracle. I love this deck so very much. They have gorgeous, gorgeous art, and it's a pretty small deck, so it's packs a punch with each message. So let's see what the dynamic is with C, because I'm not sure, but maybe the dragons will have some advice. Let's see. Ooh, okay, hold on. First we pulled Invention, Burning with Passion. I have a feeling it's a bit spicy. Do you feel passionate? Like do you feel like your life, not your life, I should say like your heart is on fire? Your life should not feel like it's on fire. My bad for misspeaking. But this is like the card of this is really interesting. It's like a centaur dragon. Love that. It has 6 legs and it's blowing fire with, it looks like it's a really dark card, but it looks like there's a little tiny like serpent in the back as well. And while it feels dark in this card and it looks kind of scary, that's kind of what passion is. Okay. It's full of unknown and darkness, and the passion is the light in the dark. And it's really important that if you find somebody who you're passionate with, it's so important to ask yourself, is this just a physical passion? Right? You have to discern what type of passion it is. Is it a physical passion? Is it an emotional passion? Is it a shared interests type of passion? Is it a passion that comes from a place of shared goals, right? Because sometimes it can be like a mixture of all of them, right? Sometimes it can be a mixture of a bunch of, and that is ideal. You want to try and find partners that are a mix of all these kinds of passions, who share your same ideals, who share your same belief systems, who share your same, like physical compatibility. Have to be careful so I don't get banned. And shares the same like love language, hopefully not all the time. Okay, sometimes it can be really, really hard to find the right, compatibility with all of that. But first and foremost, it is giving passionate. And if that's really difficult, here I got some clarity cards for you. So we're going to be pulling from I think this is called the Field Guide to Garden Dragons. It's one of my favorite decks because of the creativity. They like literally take all of these garden herbs, vegetables, and fruits and turn them into dragons. Truly one of the absolute best. One of the absolute best. So let's see here. Here you go. Okay. So we pulled you the coconut dragon. Oh my goodness, so cute. And its keyword is multitask, okay? Its keyword is multitask. And that also is really on brand with this passion, okay? Because it's giving like focus on the multiple different ways that the passion is coming forward and nurture that. Because let me remind you guys something. When it comes to relationships and especially marriage, it's so incredibly important for you to understand that it's always about peace. And something that people don't understand is that you can find peace within passion. Some people think that they are opposite of each other. Thank you so much for the follow, Sapana Ali. It's so incredibly important to remember that. Because guess what? If you have peace without passion, that's boring. And if you have passion without peace, that's heartbreak. No, you need both of them. So make sure that when you experience this passion, Odera, that you multitask in how you handle it. You need to enjoy it first of all, be present for it, but also you have to ask yourself, is this in alignment with where I want to go? At the same time of indulging in it, you have to also be intelligent about asking, is this truly what's going to go for me? And one more, we're going to pull one more message card from the Dragon Magic Messages by Lucy Cavendish. Trying my best to remember all of the artists of these cards because I just love dragon decks. They're my favorite thing in the world. So we have the Worth of Dragons. Let's see what it says. It says, within you is great treasure, the kind we would hoard for 1,000 years should we find it. We ask you now to know the infinite and most glorious worth of your being. Treasure yourself. So, lastly, with this reading for you, my love, it should feel like you are being treasured. Do you feel like you're being treasured? Because you are treasure. And I will tell you that a million times if I have to, my love, because you are. You have to remind yourself the sparkling heart that you have. You have to remind yourself of the wisdom that you embody, the beautiful energy that you bring, the intelligence that you bring, the beauty that you bring, because that is priceless. And if you're not feeling treasured, if you're not enjoying the passion, and you can't even multitask on what it is that the passion is doing for you, sometimes it's so passionate we can't think. That's also not healthy, right? So it's important for you to find that balance and remember the most important question you need to ask yourself with C is, do I feel treasured? Because if the answer is no, that's your answer. Okay. So thank you so much for letting me read for you, my love. It's been a while and I always love reading for you. So thank you so much for joining us. But I'm going to take a quick sip of the best tea in the world. This is not sponsored, but please, Tea Java, sponsor me. I love your tea. Help. So I definitely recommend it anyway. It's so good. If you guys like black tea, phenomenal. I can't drink coffee anymore. It ruins my organs. So I have to get my caffeine from black tea, which I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I really do love the tea. So we're going to pop back on here to YouTube. We're just going to scroll here because we kind of do a first come, first serve type of deal. If I can follow everybody. Hey, it's Marcy, the girl who told you about spirit painters. Oh my gosh, hi Marcy, thank you for joining us. Anne Stokes does some super beautiful work. Oh my gosh, I know, right? Let's see. Greetings, people of the Most High Creator of Wonders. Oh, welcome, my friends. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're in a better place, Azura. Thank you so much. It's been a rodeo. Thank you. Great readings as always. Oh, thank you so much, Odara. I'm so glad that it worked out for you and it felt like it resonates. Can be hard for any alt-religious person to be public about it, sadly. Dude, I can't even tell you, like, literally, I can't. I can't deal with it. I want to talk about it, but I can't yet. Can't watch anymore. Azura is too beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. Let's see. Passion can be so that sort of collision, light and dark. Absolutely. How do we get a reading? Yes. Violet Maze asks, could I get some general advice on what to do? I just got out of a relationship with a psychopath. Oof. And I've grown in some ways, but I feel so drained that I can barely function anymore. Oh no. My love. I definitely understand that feeling. Let's see what we can do for you today. Hold on. Cheers, my friend. The tea is just too good today. I can't. I'm very sorry about that. So we're going to draw a card from the DragonFaether Oracle. Hold on. My glasses are hanging out over here. We're gonna draw a card from the DragonFaether Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, my favorite deck in the world, and the reason why my name has F-A-E spelling instead of F-E-A-T-H-E-R. Um, I gotta give credit where it's due, my friends. I do, I do. So let's see. For getting out of the relationship, how can you function, right? Like what's the message or what guardian can we work with for you to function? Because trust me, when I feel so lost in, especially like in the breakup that I've had in my life, I've always turned to the dragons. They're the only ones that have genuinely ever been able to help me in my lifetime. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. This is going to be a really intense reading, okay? So we pulled the Wild Huntress, Face Your Shadow. We are not doing happy-go-lucky readings tonight, my friend. It is heavy, heavy reality. And hey, sometimes that's the way that the dragons, come through, you know what I mean? But here we go. We have the Wild Huntress, Face Your Shadow. Look at her. She is in the darkness. but she's horned, right? No, those are ears, my bad. But she has butterfly wings and the moth by her up at the corner. She has mushroom at the corner, butterflies, more moths, and a sword behind her dripping in blood, as well as beautiful, beautiful long black hair and the starry night sky behind her. Okay? And this card, I if I had $1 for every time this card came through for me in my personal readings from my breakups, I could go back to college. I digress. This card is to remind us on the reflection of our grief, okay? You may have felt like you've grown. You may have felt like you've learned lessons within your breakup, within your relationship. But especially when it comes to being with somebody who has such a lack of care for other people, such a warped sense of reality, sometimes even defining your reality for you, that will also feel like you are drained and can barely function. Part of facing your shadow, what people don't realize, is filling your own cup. It is filling your own cup up again. It's taking the time to be kind to yourself. Sometimes the worst thought in a breakup is, I should have known better. Because I did know better, and I chose to put on my blinders and look away and stay because that was more comfortable, because that was more enjoyable, because that was what filled my desires or felt most convenient, or it was the most entertaining option at the time. But let me remind you something. You do not deserve to shame yourself if you did know better. All right? Because, hey, if everybody left, when at the first sight of a bad sign, the world would look a lot different in terms of relationships. But that is just not how humans work. And you have to give yourself credit for the sense that your nervous system was bonded to theirs because chances are you're a normal human being. Okay? You know what I mean? Like some people don't bond like that. And I'm not talking about those kinds of people, right? But sometimes we can get into relationships with people who use you as a supply of gratification, pleasure, validating their own ego as a status symbol. I could go on. But it's time for you to face that shadow, face that heaviness, and sit with yourself in the darkness. Because eventually you're going to stand tall again with the stars glistening behind you. And no matter how dark it gets, you will be the light. And you're not going to get there overnight. Okay? Take it from me. Take it from me. When I lost my first love, it took me years to get over that. And I still sometimes have dreams about him. It's really awkward. But guess what? Even if it's not your first love, even if it's just a relationship that you were very, invested into, it can still really mess with your psyche when you leave that. And this is all science, right? The science is that it won't happen overnight. Like you have to allow yourself to bleed a little bit. You got to bleed out a little bit. You have to allow your heart to be broken a little bit. And then in those moments, tending yourself and holding the parts of you that are raging, hold the parts of your heart that are falling apart, hold the parts of your soul that are bleeding out, and remind yourself, I'm going to be here for you. We've learned our lessons, and I'm not going to abandon you next time. And seriously make a note of all the red flags, and then seriously, I promise you, you gotta vow to yourself if you see any of those like red flags in your next like courtship or your next like relationship, you gotta run, bestie. You gotta run so far and wide the first time. Otherwise, you're gonna get invested with the wrong person again. That's what it means to have high standards. And I know there's a lot of like debate about high standards or whatever the heck online, okay? Don't let them trick you out of your high standards, okay? That shit keeps you safe. Okay, especially if you're like a female or like feminine presenting, right? Whatever you identify as, if you are more like feminine on the spectrum, like it's so important for you to keep that in mind too, because that will literally keep you safe, okay? So I really hope that that helped. I think I am going to pull one message card for you as well from the Dragon Magic messages from Lucy Cavendish, because just always amazing messages, man. Always amazing messages. So let's see. We have dragon sense. You are intuitive human child. You can connect with realms between and beyond your world. We dragons can heighten and sharpen your natural intuition. Breathe in and feel your every sense awaken and expand. Yeah, it's time for you to feel that shit. It's time to face your shadow with your feelings and not suppress it. Allow yourself to cry, in the dark is kind of the visual I'm getting. And light yourself candles, you know, the little tiny things you can do to pamper yourself, even if it means you just drink water out of a wine glass. I know that sounds silly, but it really helps, okay? Thank you so much for the follow, Hulan. So I need you to really remember this because you are a very sensitive soul with this feeling of being stuck, of feeling drained, of feeling like you can't function. That's because you gave a shit. It's because you cared and you genuinely loved this person. And regardless of how they felt about you, regardless of what they told you, regardless of what was quote unquote real or not, it's time to remember how powerful you are because sensitive hearts are so rare in this world. And you deserve to feel all of your feelings because they are all a gift, right? Everything that we feel is such a gift because that's what makes us human beings. So don't forget. And I really do wish you the best because breakups are literally the hardest thing. You know, our hearts have memory, they have almost a brain of their own, and you have to take care of those neurons in your heart. I know that sounds super cheesy, but I'm so serious. So thank you so much for letting me read for you. But we're going to jump back over to the TikTok world. Let's see. Sabana asks, would my partner return home? That is a great question. Which deck should we use? We're going to use the Star Dragon Oracle again for this one. Will my partner come home? I have no idea. Maybe the dragons have a little bit of a message for us. Let's see. Here we go. I pulled Transformation, Defining Yourself, my love. And see, when this card comes forward, it's really not about other people, right? A lot of us will determine our worth, determine our sense of security, and hey, I'm speaking from personal experience too. We'll determine our worth, our sense of security, our happiness, our nervous system regulation. I could go on, based on who's around us, based on if we're chosen in love, based on if, you know, someone leaves us or comes back to us. And that's a trap every time. Okay. I know this might not be the answer that you were looking for, but the truth is that whether they return or not, that's actually not the question here. That's actually not what matters. Because what matters is who are you without anyone else. You have to define yourself because the way that you define yourself is going to determine the way that you perceive reality. And the way that you perceive reality determines the experience that you have in this reality every single time. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the super chat, Angel Malik. But look, it's so I couldn't even describe to you how critical it is for you to define your own self-worth in the context of not being tied to another human being. It doesn't matter who leaves or who goes because guess what? Ultimately, that's a reflection of who they are. It's a reflection of their values, their character, and even though it might break your heart, even though it might hurt, guess what? It has nothing to do with you. There's nothing you could have done to make them stay. There's nothing you've done that could have made them walk away like that. Because ultimately, if they had a problem with you or they had an issue, they would have been honest with you. They would have been, hey, this is not okay. I want to talk about this. And sometimes people are cowards and they leave without talking about it. I'm not talking about like abusive situations, right? Some people just vanish when it gets abusive, and that's different. I'm talking about in just regular connections. Sometimes people would rather flee than literally be there to work through the difficult questions, to have that conflict resolution, and to just be honest about how they're uncomfortable or how they want more. But guess what's also true at the same time? How you feel about you. Do you feel like your self concept? Do you feel like your self worth? Do you feel like your identity is dependent on somebody else being there? Because that's the actual fundamental issue, if that's the truth. Because if that's the way you define yourself, you're always going to be unsteady. You're always going to be insecure in some way, shape, or form. And you're always going to not feel good enough to some extent. So, all I can do is encourage you to take the time with yourself to really define who you are, who you want to be, because the most amazing part of your reality is that you can choose in literally seconds to change who you are and move accordingly. So, I hope that this helped. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. That's honestly something that's really just really heavy to deal with. Hi, Sal. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining us. It's so good to see you. But we're gonna jump on to the YouTube land. Thank you so much, Angel, for the super chat. I would love to read for you. What type of feelings does the lady I hung out with last Saturday have for me? And where does our relationship stand so far? Thank you. Ooh, what a spicy question. Let's find out. So I'm going to use the Dragon Wisdom Oracle by Christina Aaron Vader. Sorry, I'm still remembering her name for this deck. But let's see, because I have no idea. But let's see if the dragons can provide some clarity or guidance. Ooh, I grabbed prayer again. We're gonna also excuse me, draw another card. I can't be sorry about that. Ooh, okay, and I'm hearing one more. One more for this one. Ooh, okay. Here we go. So the first card I drew for you was prayer. We got this card earlier today, but it's because the theme of this live seems to be prayer for some reason. But we also have what was the next card? We also have silence, which is a beautiful pink dragon sitting in the sand dunes with what the heck is this called? A timer? I don't think that's what it's called. A sand timer? Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. Need to learn what that's called. And then last we have Dragon Rider. So this is so fun because it's giving it's giving need to pray. Like there might be a sense of someone prayed for somebody, prayed for this to happen, prayed for this connection. And these kinds of feelings are very subtle. They're very much deep and subconscious that are very tied to our immediate needs, very tied to our heart, our soul, and our purpose. And next we got silence, which is exactly why I feel like it has to do with like praying for this kind of a connection, because in the silence is when we make those prayers. And in the silence is when we truly ask ourselves, is this the answer to my prayer? Is this really the relationship that's meant to hourglass? Thank you, Emily. I knew I was wrong. Okay. But it's really important to remember that, right? It's important to remember that in this silence that we take with prayer, that is how we're going to truly understand where we are in our relationship so far. But the Dragon Rider, okay, the Dragon Rider card, okay, without getting too spicy for terms of service, um, it's giving passion, it's giving adventure, it's giving excitement, it's giving bonding with each other, it's giving what's the word? Not journey, but it's giving like quest. Like this is like the quest of a lifetime. I know that might be a cheesy word to use, but it is the one that comes to mind. Okay. Oop, yeah, I know, right? And it's so important. Thank you, Vonik. I knew it was an hour. I knew it wasn't a timer. Hourglass is definitely the one. But it's about, you know, okay. Can't say that live. Okay. How can I say this? It's about exploring that passion with each other, truly. It's about going to new heights together and seeing what the world looks like below you guys. You know what I mean? Feeling it too, Sparkles. Wow, good for you, Angel. Oh, that's beautiful. And I am going to draw some clarity cards for you because gotta find a way to say this without breaking the terms of service, my dear darling. But here we go. This is the one, and we're gonna grab another one. Whoa, we're not grabbing that one. It jumped right out. So let's see. This one, we'll read this one first. Hold on. Okay. Dragon Star, human child, we see the lost parts of yourself. We return to you now, the missing pieces of your soul. Claim them and become the shining star you are meant to be. It's giving soulmates. It's giving you have to shine your brightest light, and that's what brings this connection in closer. That's what makes this connection the most stable. Is actually paradoxically enough when you are focusing on yourself more than the other person, when you're focusing on how can you show up as your best, when you're focusing on how can you truly embrace all of who you are. Because if you change yourself, this goes for everybody too, by the way, if you change yourself to be what you think someone else needs, you're going to lose yourself every time, and you actually might kill parts that they were initially attracted to. I know that sounds absolutely insane, But trust me on this one. It's so important to focus on being yourself 110% the entire way. Otherwise, you're going to lose sight of where the connection fits into your life. You're going to lose sight of your partner, actually. Because when you change who you are for a partner, you start changing the way that you view your partner. Ooh, it's spicy. But we also have dragon wings. Take shelter beneath our mighty wings. When the storms rage, this will be safe place where no harm can touch you. Step whenever you have need beneath our wings. They are yours. And this also shows whenever there's confusion, whenever there's, emotional turmoil, even when there's conflict, it's so important for you to step back. Because what do we do when we just act and we don't think? We hurt the people we love and we lose our connections. And I'm also speaking from personal experience, not only with partners, but also with friendships, because you lose your temper once and you say things that you don't mean. You can literally break people's hearts beyond repair. So please, if you ever get too emotionally charged or you get too confused or you're not sure exactly what you are, step back under the shade of the dragon's wings and remember who you are. Remember the star that you are and cultivate your shining light. And I really hope that helped. That was a really deep reading, but I wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity to read for you because dang, they're like the readings tonight are just so spicy. They really are. But we're gonna jump back over to TikTok, to the TikTok worlds for the next question. And we're just going to package these away really quick. Here we go. Just gotta shuffle them in there so we hopefully do not draw the same cards because it does happen sometimes. But hey, sometimes the same card is a different meaning for different readings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wow. I'm even more hopeful. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad that it resonated, and I just hope that you don't lose sight of the glowing light that you are, because that is like honestly the most attractive quality about you is just your bright smile, your bright eyes, your bright soul. Okay? Don't lose sight of that because you want to chase somebody or whatever, because doesn't matter what gender anyone is, right? Like when you embody your light and your love and who you are authentically, like you're going to attract the right person that way, and the right person's gonna stay. Okay, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I am gonna take another sip of this because it's a little dramatic tonight. I'm here in the TikTok worlds, in the TikTok talk worlds. Let's see, let's see. I think we have. Hulan asks, does he have feeling? Does Will have feelings for me? Let's find out because I don't know, but maybe the dragons will have a little bit of clarity for us. So let's see. We're going to use the Gothic Oracle by Anne Stokes again. One of the best. One of the best, if I do say so myself. So let's see. This is the one that's coming forth. We have. Ooh. We drew a blue moon first. I'm hearing pull a couple more. We have. Ooh. Serpent's Spell with a beautiful Medusa art on it. Love that. And we have. Oh, I'm hearing look at the bottom. Ooh, and we have Angel Rose. All right, let's break this down. Okay, do they have feelings for you? Well, once in a blue moon, you're gonna find somebody who absolutely adores you. But guess what? Sometimes in the light of a blue moon, we're not quite sure about ourselves logically, right? This is very much giving emotional. Like it's very much giving the heart of hearts in the deepest depths of your feelings that are hidden in the dark, that are hidden in the subconscious, that are hidden in the psyche. This is not always going to be easy to vocalize these kinds of feelings, right? This is just a closer look at the card, by the way. These kinds of feelings aren't always going to be the most easy to articulate, if I may. But it's incredibly important to remind yourself. We have the unicorn here on the card, which symbolizes rarity, which symbolizes magic and wonder, which symbolizes innocence and purity. And I don't mean purity in like a purity culture way, like a virgin. No, I don't subscribe to that. Yeah. But here's the thing. It's so important to remind yourself that the deepest feelings, asking if they have feelings for you, those are usually the hardest to communicate. And it just takes time. So, first and foremost, be patient, right? That's the first that we're getting. But second, we have Serpent Spell, which is one of my favorite cards in this deck, by the way. But the Serpent Spell card is truly the embodiment of almost intimidation, at the same time, seduction, but at the same time, being drawn in, but a little afraid. And usually, when somebody has deep feelings for you, they might even run away. I hate that that's true, but it's so important to not look for a logical explanation, especially in love. And this is what I tell like all my clients too, is like when it comes to love and it comes to connection and relationships, the more that you demand like logical clarity or like linguistic clarity, like labels and stuff like that, especially early on, specifically early on, that can really ruin the feelings and the way that they naturally unfold. So it's so important for you to allow yourself to embody your absolute sensuality, to embody your absolute joy, to embody that little bit of intimidation, and not be afraid to tap into your dark energy as well as your light energy so you can balance yourself in that kind of gray. Because that's going to be the only way that you're going to find out if the feelings are really there, because it's giving there's a strong emotion there, but it's hard to articulate because maybe they don't even exactly know what that means for them yet. And it's like if they don't know, how could I know, right? Like this is something that I also tell people when it comes to love. Like when I'm married, by the way, and when I first, started dating my husband, when we before we were like married, I had a lot of trauma and I didn't really know how exactly my feelings were. I took lots of time to process my trauma, right? And I did feel something for him, but I really struggled to show it. I really struggled to express it. But the way that I really found a way to do that was through giving him gifts and through spending time with him and talking about things that we loved together, like music or like, just ambitions in business and things like that. And, just like he really brought me closer to God in the sense that I had a lot of trauma with religion. And he always told me, God is love. And when it comes to connections like that, instead of trying to be so quick to label things, allow yourself to sit back and relax and be like, I'm going to enjoy the show. I'm going to enjoy every single second of this because that is my biggest regret when it came to the early like years with my husband, is that I was so much struggling with my own past and my own um just heartbreak that I had. I couldn't really see the future clearly. But I was trying to force myself to have a perfect experience because I felt like that's what was expected of me. But that was nothing of what he said. It was everything about the labels I put on myself. So the best thing I can do is to tell you to remove those labels and embody your sovereign energy and to have fun and to treat yourself with love and care and respect and say so many good things to yourself in the mirror, right? Because lastly, we have Angel Rose, which is, oh my gosh, this card is so beautiful, with the rose by the heart and the darkened wings like surrounding her with fallen leaves everywhere, and she has like tears on her eyes a little bit. I'm getting the sense that there is almost a sense of desperation to be connected, from your side actually. And also this sense comes from a very genuine spot. But it also needs to be handled with care, because if it's not handled with care consciously, it will be projected on those that you love, and that's actually going to hurt the people that you love. Take it from me, speak it for personal experience, okay? Conversation is an act of love and service to a partner. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why they say communication is the most important thing, too. So it's important for you to communicate how you feel, but you don't have to tell your partner everything right away, right? You don't have to tell them all the heart, like all of the wounds on your soul. Sometimes it's better left unsaid. Some certain things are better left for therapy, okay? And there's certain things that I told my husband really early on in our relationship that I regretted, and it changed the dynamic in a way that took a really long time to kind of like rearrange, right? So the best thing that I can tell you is to feel your feelings. If you're scared, if you're unsure, if there's like this uncertainty about do they like you or not, process those on your own and then pour back into yourself. And live your best life. You should keep living your life as if it's yours and yours alone. You don't have to define yourself in accordance to somebody else. So I hope that that helped. It was really a really deep conversation, that one. But it's really important to remind ourselves what really matters when it comes to relationships. And fundamentally, what matters more than anything in your relationships is not necessarily your feelings. I know that sounds crazy. It actually is more so than not your compatibility and the lifestyle, right? Because if you're dating for marriage and you're not just dating to have fun, because some people do that, but if you're dating for marriage, you're not marrying your feelings, okay? This is like really complicated for some people. You're marrying a lifestyle, you're marrying principles, you're marrying morals. Okay, let's not forget that. Please don't forget that. So, thank you so much for letting me read for you. But we're gonna jump back over to the YouTube land. The YouTube land. Let's see. We have just want to make sure because I think I skipped a couple people. But let's see. Sorry, I'm like doing my best to read these comments as fast as I can. I learned recently monks don't actually take a vow of silence. Oh, interesting. I don't know too much about monks, to be honest. In support of Azura, please remember to like and subscribe, everyone. Oh, thank you so much. Bewitched Adventures, you are so sweet. Our likes and subs helps Azura bud? Yes, it does. It helps the visibility a lot. Thank you so much for liking the stream. Unfortunately, psychopathy is a societal symptom rather than strictly the individual. Interesting. I actually don't know too much about what's it called? Like the science of like psychopathy, but definitely should look more into it. Oh, geez, sorry, you look like a butterfly fairy. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet, Marcy. Um, I just started dating myself. Violet Maze. Cheers. I love that. Are you redhead? No, this is a wig, but thank you for asking. See, I'm a shapeshifter, and I have hundreds of wigs because when I was dyeing my hair all the colors that I wanted to, I fried my hair. My mom told me that would happen. I didn't believe her. I was just a teenager. But oh, thank you so much for the follow, Keely Bright Eyes. Thank you so much. Can you do pregnancy for me? Yes, I will get next. I will do your reading next. We are on the YouTube questions right now. Can you just ask your question? Crazy. A few hundred years removed from slavery harems. Yeah, that's crazy. I am doing my best. Happy Beltane, everybody. Feeling sparkles. Wow, good for you. Yes. Let's see. Is there vodka Manutini? I hope I said your name right. Is there anything my spirit guides want me to know or learn right now? That's a great question. That's an amazing question. All right. We're going to tap back into the Star Oracle. This one, I don't know who the author is. My personal deck box doesn't say it, but I'm doing research to see if I can find the creator of this deck. It's really sad that it's not on the box. It's the only tarot deck that I have that doesn't have the author on it. But let's see. Is there anything your spirit guides want you to know right now? Yeah, dude, freedom. I pulled freedom, breaking the chains. It's time to liberate yourself, okay? This is something that you know deep down. But here's the thing about freedom. Freedom comes with a price, okay? And sometimes people pay for freedom with their lives. All right? Hopefully, you're not in that situation, okay? We don't want that for you. But look, when it comes to breaking the chains specifically, we have to ask ourselves, you have to ask yourself, is there something I'm doing that's contributing to my own imprisonment? Mm-hmm. Is there something I'm doing That's clipping my own wings. Hmm. Because what you don't change, you're choosing. And if you're choosing to stay in a place that feels suffocating, that feels limiting, that feels like it's taking your voice away without taking actions every day to get out, depending on, oh, thank you. I look so silly with that, but thank you so much for the hat and mustache. It's so important to remember that this breaking those chains is the step to getting your freedom. No more delaying, okay, my sweetheart? No more delaying breaking those chains, as brutal and ugly as it might get. One thing at a time. Sometimes getting our freedom is not as easy as a breakup. Sometimes it's not as easy as a walk away. Sometimes it's not easy at all. Sometimes it's painstaking. Sometimes it's planning day after day in the dark so you can have that overnight escape. Sometimes, oh, thank you for the hearts. Sometimes it's literally about honoring how hard that journey's gonna be. Face that liberation head on with honor and do not look away from all the things that are contributing to making you feel small, for all the ways that you are silently abandoning yourself and rejecting the future that you truly claim that you want. Because that's what freedom is. Freedom will cost you sometimes the people that you love, but what's worth it? What's worth more? Being free to be everything who you are and want to be, maybe not having the people who you grew up with, or maybe not having your loved ones around to judge you for that? Or is it going to be more worth it to keep people around who don't love you in your entirety? I'm going to let you answer that one. Because some people actually some people actually do choose to stay. Some people actually do choose to stay. But if you found your way to this channel, I have a feeling that you want everything that life has to offer for you. You want everything that is possible for you. And breaking those chains is scary, but you can do it. And I'm going to pull one of the Dragon Magic message cards just to see from your spirit team if there's any sort of like actual message, right? Worded message. So I pulled Unbinding of Dragons. Bro, I cannot make this up. Oh, goodness. Breaking the chains and unbinding are literally the same thing. So it says, bro, I'm gonna cry. We dragons treasure freedom, and we choose who we work with. We now assure you that this too is your choice. You are free, human child. You cannot be compelled. You are free to choose. Yeah, bestie. The dragons want you to be free. Your spirit team wants you to be free. It's time to choose whatever it takes to have that. Okay? It's time to choose whatever it takes to break those chains, to unbind yourself, to fly free again. Whatever that looks like for you, I'm not so sure. But I know in your heart you know what's holding you back. I know you know in your heart what's suppressing your freedom, what's making you feel chained and bound and unable to use your voice, express yourself, and things like that. So thank you so much for letting me read for you tonight. Wow, thank you so much. Of course, thank you so much for the opportunity to read for you. That blew me away, man. Sometimes the cards don't play. All right, the cards don't play. All right. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the tip, Bewitched Adventure. I appreciate that. Whew, that one like really hit home for me too. I like really have a lot going on. Keely Bright Eyes. I have my fourth embryo transfer. 3 previous failed. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I'm currently 7 days post embryo transfer and negative tests. Am I pregnant? Ooh, I don't know. Let's see what the dragons have to say. I'm going to pull a. Hold on, I'm grabbing the deck. We're gonna pull a card from the Oracle of the DragonFaether. So let's see what they have to say. Ooh. I love this card. Hold on. I'm also gonna draw some message cards for you after this one too. But we pulled, what's his name? The Elder Heed Wise Counsel. So in terms of this, I know this is really lame. I'm sorry, but the visual I got for wise counsel is your doctors. I'm so sorry. The dragons are literally so silly sometimes. But ultimately, let's just break down the symbolism of this card. So we have an old elder here with a staff that's on fire, and we have two little tiny hatchlings, okay? So this to me is giving good energy, but I also am hearing pull some message cards. So we're gonna also pull some of these dragon magic messages from Lucy Cavendish as well. But we're gonna pull a couple. Ooh, two came out. We're gonna pull one more. Here we go. Ooh, it popped out. So first, shut the fuck up. Okay, hold on. This is exciting. The wise counsel is obviously your doctors. I'm not a medical professional, okay, so I'm not trying to claim that I know everything in that department. But what I'm saying is that there seems to be a lot of fear. And let me tell you something when it comes to pregnancy. The way you regulate your nervous system and your emotions is so much more important than you think, okay? It's so much more critical to the health of a pregnancy than you think. And this is the part that doctors actually won't tell you. So, hi, I'll be your wise counsel in this market of expertise. It's important for you to believe that it's possible for you. It's important for you to speak to the cells. Oh, I'm getting yelled at. Hold on. TikTok thinks I'm a robot. Sorry, TikTok thought I was a robot. It's so important for you to talk to your womb, to talk to your embryo, which is your baby, and to talk to every single part of your body that is involved in this pregnancy. And here, let me give you an example. Say, my placenta is so healthy and wealthy, full of nutrients for my baby. My baby is so healthy and wealthy. I can't wait to meet them. And let me tell you something else. When it comes to pregnancy loss, if your goal is to the outcome of how that happened, right? My Qur'an teacher wants children more than anything in the world, and she told me that she was infertile and she was unable to have them. And when she said she had dreams, she asked Allah, because Muslim, she asked Allah to help her. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to adopt a child? Am I supposed to, try like IVF? Like, what am I supposed to do, right? And she had a dream of teaching Quran to children. And so she tells me, she's like, all my students are my babies. And that was good enough for her. And I'm not here to say what is the right option for you. But what I am here to say is be as present as possible. Don't be afraid of your future that will spike your cortisol and potentially complicate the very fragile journey that is pregnancy. And so we also have some message cards. Let's break them down for you. First, we have Dragon's Breath. We breathe a circle of blue fire, one that encircles your home. Through it, no harm can pass, and it guards your treasures. All is safe within the sacred circle of blue dragon flame. Wow, that's beautiful. I'm like literally crying. So, this is really giving meditation of protecting your womb, and it could be whatever feels most like intuitive to you, right? For example, you can use a blue dragon fire circle around your womb to keep you safe and to hold your pregnancy. That's true. But it's so incredibly important to find something that resonates with you the strongest, whatever you believe in, right? Because I'm not here to like prescribe belief systems. That's not my job. So, next we have dragon tears. We dragons are free and spontaneous in our emotions. We do not make an enemy of our primal self. We express it in vibrant and invigorating ways. Connect now with your true feelings. Whatever you feel, whatever you experience, whatever you face within the journey of pregnancy, allow yourself to feel it, because what the world would like women to forget, would like people who have wombs to forget, is that it's a very what's the word, linear process. It's not. Pregnancy is about life, death, and rebirth over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes people forget to tell mothers or expecting mothers that you're gonna have to die and rebirth yourself over and over and over again throughout that. And resistance creates stronger, right? If you resist your feelings, if you resist your fears, if you resist your grief, that is going to create stagnation. This is about fertility in the most primal sense. Think of your womb as a blooming garden, right? If you do not clip the wings, your flowers will not bloom. They will be taken over by an invader. And sometimes that invader is fear. Sometimes that invader is doubt. And sometimes that invader is countless appointments being a push pin, or like a pin cushion, I should say, for this blood drawn, this procedure, and this injection, and so on and so forth. It's too much sometimes. But you have to allow yourself to cry. You have to allow yourself to feel those things. And guess what? This card blew me away. The last one is Dragonborn. In a pregnancy reading? I can't believe this. Okay. We have sheltered magic for millennia now, and it is nearly time for its rebirth. Feel hopeful, human child. There will soon be a wonderful moment which a new world will be born. I'm gonna cry! I'm wishing you so much luck on your pregnancy. I feel like this one is really going to surprise you. And while I can't, I'm not somebody who claims I can predict the future or anything, right? Anything can happen, right? But all I know is that if you have faith in your ability to create life and you take care of yourself every step of the way and you do everything you can to manage your stress and do everything you can to nurture yourself, a new world is going to be born. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, I can't. All right. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I'm trying not to get emotional, but like that was a really emotional reading, okay? Let's not lie to each other. I got goosebumps all over my body. Yeah, dude, same. Literally same. So, thank you so much for reading for you. It was such an honor, and I am wishing you the absolute best of luck along your journey. I could only imagine how intense it is to go through all of, just the fertility stuff. Like, that is just, if you ask me, the hardest thing to go through in this life because, you know, it's not talked about, it's heavily stigmatized, especially if you live in America. And there's not enough support. People say it takes a village, but where the hell did the village go these days, right? You have to remind yourself that it's going to be okay no matter what happens, and it's possible for you. And the best thing you can do for yourself is to sing, actually sing to yourself, sing to the cells in your body. Something along the line of, every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well, right? I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. I learned this from a cancer survivor, by the way. And you can change it, to fit pregnancy. And usually, when it comes from your intuition, your gut, your heart, and your soul, that is going to be the most critical part of that journey, right? I would love to be kept updated. Oh my goodness. I'm wishing you so much luck with your little hatchling. Let me just stop crying. Sorry. OMG, that's so cute. I wish you luck for you on YouTube. The hatchlings on YouTube are wishing you good luck too. I am so excited for your journey. But let's see, my darlings. Where are we now? Just want to make sure I give everybody the chance that they can. Um, let's see. I think Adriana. Oh, you are crystal clear as our first time here. If you see any cards for me, I would so appreciate your lovely advice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Scorpio full moon has us all in her feelings. No, for real. Happy full moon, by the way. Oh my gosh. How did I not put that in the title? Ugh. Okay, hold on. My hair is falling out, my friends. Let's not do that. Let's not do that at all. Okay. Anyway. Let's see. Ariana Delaney? I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best to read your name. Oh, let's see. What cards let's see. What's the vibe? I'm getting these ones. We're going to use the field guide to, what's it called? Field guide to Garden Dragons. There we go. Working on my memory of these cards so much. But let's see. Let's see. Whoa, there it goes. Let's see what we have for you, my friend. Just for a quick general message. Spinach Dragon. Strength. Oh, this deck is truly a gem. All right. Look at it. Look at him. Look at him. He's just a spinach dragon. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hi, what's the topic? The topic is just Beltane dragon readings. We're celebrating Beltane together with some free dragon readings. All you need is a question because everyone deserves dragons, okay? So do not be shy if you would like a free reading. Um, let's see. The spinach dragon, we have just a beautiful leafy little dude, okay? And there's three ladybugs and three little flowers sprouting with a full moon in the background on a very green mossy like log. So the spinach dragon representing strength, it's giving it's giving you need to do everything you can to nurture your strength from making better decisions with what you eat, not trying to tell you what to eat, but just saying like it's good to eat some spinach. I know, I'm super silly. Also, it's really important for you to do something for your physical wellness, right? It could be just walking. It could be, excuse me, even stretching, right? Like you don't have to do any like super crazy weightlifting or anything like that. Like it's also reevaluating your mindset. How can you have a stronger mindset, right? So I'm going also to pull a couple more cards for you because I just want to get some clarity for this. We have, let's see. Yeah, we have Apple Dragon, which is about health. And then we're going to draw one more card for you. Let's see. And we have Blueberry Dragon Goals. Oh my gosh, look at this little dude. He's, oh, dude, this deck is premium. Premium subscription. Let's go ahead and show TikTok as well. We got the Apple Dragon for health, and we also got the Blueberry Dragon for goals. So fundamentally, fundamentally, it's about strength and building that strength, okay? It's, hold on. It's about building this strength because if you don't take the time to cultivate the strength of your body, cultivate the strength of your mind, cultivate the strength of your spirit, cultivate the strength of your physical, like, organs, right? I know that's really specific. It can be detrimental. And you literally don't have to do the most to see beneficial changes, right? Let me remind everybody of something. When you are trying to make change in your life in a positive way, a lot of people think they need to make very drastic changes. They think that they have to do so much overnight. They have to like have this new routine, this new regimen, this new diet, this new that. No, that is a great way to burn yourself out and shock your system. When actually, the most beneficial thing you can do, my friends, is to sincerely take it slowly and make small, consistent changes over time. That's actually going to be the most beneficial thing to you. So, for example, do you really like soda? Do you really like energy drinks? Maybe instead of choosing to drink those things, you choose to make better decisions like drinking tea or drinking 100% juice, right? If you like that, you like the sweet stuff. Because it's so critical to stop the bad habits first and replace them with better ones. So, me, for example, I love soda. I do. I love energy drinks. They're great. But they're killing me, all right? I literally feel heart problems when I drink energy drinks. It's really bad. And it's so hard to maintain your teeth health when you're constantly drinking things like soda. So instead, I try to make the decision to drink juice or tea instead. And it's very, very tiny. Very, very tiny. Okay? But it goes a long, long way. And then next with the sort of, Apple Dragon with the health and stuff, this is again just echoing the health stuff, right? Like it's again about maybe adding some real like solid food groups, even if you love your burgers, right? I'm not saying you got to stop that, right? I'm just saying if you literally love those things as well, add just a serving of fruit to every meal that you have. Excuse me. Add, a serving of vegetables to every meal that you have. Because this will do so much more for your like physical health than you realize. if you can't do amazing elaborate rituals, if you really struggle with prayer, if you really struggle with, connecting to God, or you really struggle with, maintaining your altars, whatever religion or spiritual practice that you have, it's critical for you to find one thing that you can do every single day as a place to start, right? If you can't, like, for example, those of us who are Muslim, if you can't meet your 5 prayers a day, just try and start with getting consistent with at least making one and then adding another one, right? If you really struggle doing like these elaborate rituals to celebrate like Beltane, allow yourself to meditate and just be still for 15 minutes or something like that. It's so incredibly important. I've switched to Zevia and sparkling ice for most of my soda needs, but I still occasionally have an actual soda. Yeah, dude, that's literally an amazing suggestion too. Like you can also, do like sparkling waters flavored with real juice too if you really need that sparkle. Okay, it's very true. And then lastly, blueberry dragon. When it comes to our health and it comes to our strength, it's really hard to keep going if we don't have the right type of goals, okay? So if we don't have the right type of goals, we're going to burn ourselves out, and then we're going to what? Shame ourselves for not getting there. We're going to what? Think we're not good enough. And ultimately, what are we going to affect more than anything? Our trust with ourselves. If you can't meet your goals and you set goals for yourself to meet, you're going to shame yourself. For the most part, that's usually how human beings work, unfortunately. So that's why I'm saying set realistic goals for yourself, like I said earlier. If you can't, make this whole lifestyle change overnight, which you shouldn't, it's really bad for your body to just shock it into a new, routine like that. Some people have success with like the 75 hard challenge, but the majority of us, it's not really the best option. So that's why I say definitely, definitely, definitely create reasonable goals for yourself to meet. For example, stretching every day at one point in the day for 30 days is so much more attainable than going to the gym if you've never done the gym before, right? You can start with your getting into the routine of stretching, and then you can start doing like Pilates exercises or like more like yoga exercises, or start going to the gym to hit those exercises, right? And also with the food stuff, if there's certain things that you absolutely love and you can't cut them all out at once, it's so important for you to just either add something like a whole food, right? Like apples, or like what's it called, even like nutrient dense foods, right? Like kale or watercress, even things like spinach and cucumbers to the rest of what you're already eating. That's so important too, because more than anything in this world, when it comes to like dietary health, they're always going to recommend you have a variety of things to eat rather than just like a specific like set of like food groups. So it's about not shaming yourself, setting realistic goals, and just prioritizing your health to, develop your strength. And that is pretty much what I got for you guys today. So thank you so much for letting me read it for you, my friend. I really did enjoy that one, because I think a lot of us, there's just a lot of stigma around health and wellness, especially when it comes to exercise and diet. There's a lot of like, expectation to be perfect, and there's almost like this competitive element to it, especially if you go to the gym and stuff. It's really annoying. But even finding, certain things that are better suited for your body too. Like I know for me personally, my knees, I have a lot of knee injuries. So it's really hard for me to do things like running or walking. So instead I'll like do things like stretching and things like Pilates and things that are a little bit more low impact, like swimming exercises too. So cheers, my friend. I'm wishing you the best. And then we're gonna pop on over to TikTok. I think we'll do a couple more readings because it's getting kind of late, and literally running out of breath a little bit because these readings are so intense, you guys. I love doing readings though. Hold on. There's a little bit of a fuzzy. There we go. I love doing readings. Every single time I like pop on live and I do readings with you guys, like it literally sets my soul on fire in the best way. And it's just because like growing up, I always struggled with finding, guidance, especially after I left the Mormon church. And one thing that I realized very early on is that human beings are so powerful when it comes to our belief systems, that truly what we believe in makes it real for us in our lives. That's why you'll see so many different types of religions and so many different types of cultural practices that involves an element of belief in like an unseen force. Because humans really struggle to cope with how big our brains are. Humans really struggle to cope with a lack of understanding. Our brains are desired to find meaning and to find answers. And so when things happen and we don't have that sort of way to find an answer, we don't have clarity, we come up with very elaborate ways to find that clarity. And so, again, here on this channel, we welcome everybody of all spiritual faiths, all identities, all, culture, creed, gender. It doesn't matter what you identify as or what labels you feel most comfortable with. You are a human being and you deserve dignity. You deserve community and love and respect and care. That is the fundamental goal that we have here with the hatchling clan. And that's what makes us hatchlings, because everybody's geeky, cheeky, and freaky in their own ways. You know, everybody's geeky, cheeky, and freaky in their own ways. And it's so incredibly important for you to just follow your heart. That's the beauty of free will and free choice. And people who tell you that you're going to hell for one way or the other, they don't know you. They have no right to play God, because last time I checked, only God decides, right? If you believe in heaven or hell, right? It just depends, right? And that's the most important thing that we learn too when we study science, is that the beliefs that you have will shape your reality. Ooh, it started raining. I'm jealous. So jealous. But definitely, I'm raising my nephew and struggling with being a mother in practice, but not body and soul help. Yes, of course. I am more than happy to help you, my friend. More than happy to help you. Cheers, my friend. Let me just take a sip. Have you ever tried guided meditation? Yes, I actually make my own guided meditations. I have a few of them on my channel, but we are also starting to offer them on my Patreon, because the guided meditations that I do are like really, really, really energy intensive. And I use a lot of my skills that I've developed over decades in order to, guide people through meditations like this. So if you're interested in guided meditations, you can check out my Patreon, which will also be linked in the description down below here on YouTube and on my directory for, what's it called? For TikTok. But we have Emily asking, I'm raising my nephew and struggling with being a mother in practice, but not body and soul help. Yes. That is that's a really particular struggle that I got you, my friend. I got you. So let's see here. I'm just gonna do this. This is the Star Dragons Oracle, by the way. Ooh, this is a really good one. Hold on. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much, Bewitched Adventure, for the tip again. If you are geeky, cheeky, and freaky, like and subscribe. Support our lovely High Priestess. Oh, you're so sweet, my dear. I couldn't even say thank you enough. But my friend, hold on. What was your name again? Let me just double check. Emily. My dear Emily, we pulled Returning for You, Going with the Flow. This is really critically important, because let me tell you something about motherhood, especially when it's like raising someone like your nephew who you didn't like actually like birth yourself or like, create inside of you. Sometimes, even mothers who do create their own children struggle to bond with them. But for your situation in particular, when it comes to helping a child, help raising a child who you might not have that like motherly, like body and soul connection to, but you are doing your best to be motherly in practice, going with the flow is going to be the most important thing, because you're still learning this individual, right? Like, some people would like to deny the personhood of children, which I don't understand, by the way. But let me tell you something. They're their own individual, even when they're super young. And learning your way to go with that flow and learn them is going to help you adapt how you help raise them in real time. Observing them as objectively as possible while removing any sort of judgment from yourself is going to actually give them the best opportunity to get to be like raised by you, to have that motherly figure within you. Here for YouTube, this is the card that we pulled. It has, let's see, there is a dragon with just tons of like autumn leaves around them. And then there's this man in front with like holding a spear in front of the mouth of the dragon. And I can't really see his legs, but it looks like he's just covered in a bunch of leaves, almost like a serpent made out of leaves. Um, but let's see. Oh, hello, Wasim. I'm good. How are you? Welcome to your daily dose of DragonFaether. But if you see, we have like this orb right there in front of the like mouth of the dragon. This is really standing out symbolically in the sense of you're going to have to take the food. Oh, that's I'm so sorry. But we were just doing readings today. We'll do a conversation live soon. Sorry about that. But we have, it's really important to go with this flow. It's really important to go with like that connection, to observe them, and as they feed you information, as like represented by this orb, right? As they feed you information, as they demonstrate who you are, as who they are, excuse me, that's how you're going to learn to be there for them. I didn't want to be a mother, but he was being neglected and I wanted him to be safe. See? That is literally the most wow. You are a freaking rock star, by the way, because so many people are so selfish they would not care. And so because you care enough to be there, no matter how hard it gets, just do your best to remind yourself that you are trying your best. I'm going to draw a couple of clarity card messages for you. Oh, thank you, Vodka Mutiny. I'm so sorry if that's not how you pronounce your name, but thank you so much for the super chat. I'd love a hint for how to start breaking my chain. Of course. I will pull some clarity cards for you. Oh, hold on. Innocence of Dragons. We know about humankind's capacity for suffering and guilt. Did I not just say don't make yourself guilty? Okay. We now offer you the knowledge that this is an unnecessary burden. You are innocent and free human child. Yeah. Don't put the undeserved burden of suffering on yourself as you feel like you can't be perfect for them. Do not pressure yourself into feeling like you have to have a certain specific reality, because even if you didn't want to be a mother, sometimes motherhood comes to us in ways that we didn't expect, where we have to be there for people who need us, especially a young child. That can be so complicated of feelings. That can be the most distressful, most confusing, most burdensome experience that a human being can walk in this world. Do not burden yourself with the suffering of blame. You are not blameworthy. Emily, repeat after me. I am not blameworthy. I am doing my best to keep this child safe. And I genuinely couldn't like emphasize it enough how much, like, even just human to human being, like, I respect you so much for doing that, because I know in my heart and soul I don't even know if I could do that because of all of the trauma that I've been through. I don't even know if I could be there for a child like that. So I need you to accept that you are doing the most already, that there is no perfect path in this world, and that you have to do everything in your power to not shame or blame yourself if you get it wrong, because the kids feel that. The kids feel that, right? Like, if you can't take care and cultivate yourself, if you can't be there for yourself, if you can't help and handle your triggers for yourself, you will accidentally take it out on the little ones. That is the way that it works. That's why we get, generational trauma. Thank you so much. It's so scary. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I literally cannot even imagine. But more than anything, just take it one step at a time, right? That's why we have the go with the flow card. One step at a time, I promise you. My black cat is Max. He has one eye. He's my Mad Max. That's so cute. What? Oh my gosh, what a character. These readings are so thoughtful, caring, and passionate. I love it. Oh, thank you, Angel. I do my very best to try and give the most caring, kind, and compassionate readings as possible, because let me tell you something that I cannot stand when it comes to readings, right? People who, like, do tarot readings. It's the mechanical, very much telling people what they want to hear. The whole, like, your ex is thinking about you. You're the chosen one. Oh my gosh. Like the whole them versus you or us versus them mentality. The dopamine hacking. Oh dear goodness me. No. What are we doing? I understand that might get more views. I understand that might make a pretty decent paycheck, but at what cost? At what cost? If you're using readings to create a dependency on you, you're doing it wrong. Like our literal job as like tarot readers, our job as priestesses and priests, our job as elders or leaders within the spiritual community, doesn't matter what religion you are. It's to be a light of guidance for people, not a voice for condemnation, not a voice whispering in your ear that people are out to get you. Okay, I can't handle it. It drives me crazy, but that's literally kind of like what I really try to do with my readings because I don't claim to be a fortune teller. I don't claim to, have all of the answers. I don't claim to speak for any deities or speak for any spirits. I simply work through symbolism. I work through, you know, metaphor. I work through experience and sharing that and what like the the questions that people ask me. It's so important to really tune into the heart of why people are asking questions rather than just finding the answers that people want to hear, right? Us leader people are not better than new people. We are guides and teachers. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. We're going to do one more reading from YouTube and one more reading from TikTok, and then we'll do a collective reading before we get on out of here because it's getting pretty late. But let's see. Just want to make sure that we are asking the right ones. Let's see. Corrupted asks, Azura, can I get a reading? I've got a lot on my mind. The mundane is good, but I feel a little unfocused. That is why I'm here, my friend. So let's use the Gothic Oracle again by Anne Stokes for just a general reading. Yeah. For Mind on the Mundane, it's good, but feeling unfocused. All right, how can we focus? Ooh, we pulled Lifeblood. Such a gorgeous card, by the way. And then we're going to pull one more from this deck. So let's do one more. Woo! I think, oh, yep. We knew one was trying to jump out. So we have Await the Night. Ooh, I love this. This is the next card that we drew. So with Lifeblood and Await the Night, let's work with Lifeblood first. We have a woman dressed in white with a cloak, but inside it's red, and she's surrounded by skeletons. She has a scythe with blood on it and red roses. What is your lifeblood? What is the part of this world that keeps you going? That makes you defy death? And I know this is dark, but let me cook. For me personally, if you know me at all, okay, I am obsessed with dragons. Okay, in a way that when I am sad and depressed, I know I'll be okay if I just focus on my studies with the dragons. That is my passion. That is my lifeblood. Especially as dragonkin, it feels like the most I am alive when I work with dragons and their symbolism and their teachings and their wisdom. And I learn about them in history and what they mean to different people of the world. Right? Been here for close to a year, no regrets. Oh, thank you so much, Corrupted. Making others happy through my dragons. That's my passion. Corrupted, we are the same, okay? This is something that you can't forget, no matter where you're at in life. Because if you do forget that, if you do forget your lifeblood, guess what starts happening? You start bleeding out because you're not keeping it circulated within you and within your focus. Art is my hobby, dragons as my life. Yes, I love that. That is why we're here. The world is designed for us to feel like we need to be productive, we need to be making money, we need to be doing something like to contribute to society, or our value doesn't exist. That's capitalism, okay? The fact that you were born means that you are already It means you are the chosen one. The fact that you are alive makes you a chosen one, right? We're all chosen ones because we're the ones who are alive. There's so many people, I should say like spirits or souls, that are not here, that never were born or who want to be. But it just didn't work out. And that's why I can't stress enough what a gift it is to be able to have, even with like, around the world, not everybody's able to pursue their art. Not everybody's able to pursue what they love. That's why it's so important for you, if you have that ability, to cultivate your craft, to cultivate what you love, to learn about it and immerse yourself in the studies of it. Are you in live on another web app? Yes, I am, Ramoso. I'm on live for YouTube and TikTok. We bounce back and forth for the readings. And it's so incredibly important to remember that. I couldn't stress it enough, because when it comes to my life in particular, yes, I'll give you clarification cards after Corrupted's reading, and then we'll do a TikTok reading. Um, but I couldn't tell you enough how important that is, to not forget who you are. And this is so cheesy. It might sound cliche, but it's literally a thing for a reason, okay? If I forgot and when I have forgotten my love for dragons, guess what literally just fell apart? My desire to be here, my life force started to falter, my creativity destroyed, my desire to be in like relationships and keep relationships with those that I love completely vanished into thin air, because I wasn't filling my soul. So make sure you don't forget your lifeblood, or there's like the symbolic reaping that happens with everything that brings you joy and color in your world. Don't let it get that far. And next we have Await the Night. And Await the Night, see, I love this card because there is like this like stream of light coming down on her, and the like hall is like lit in the background. Very beautiful, very beautiful. But she also looks like she's a vampire, right? So sometimes the sun is kind of very, I don't want to use the word oppressive, but very overwhelming, very overstimulating might be the word. Sometimes our creativity comes to life at night in the most. Sometimes we're only able to hear our soul in the night when it's quiet, when it's still and it's dark outside, when there's less interrupting our senses, like light and, the noise of people throughout the world and things like that. I legitimately go back to your Tiamat meditation from Sound Dragons, and part of that you remind me was, remember who the fuck you are. No, seriously. Like, every single day sometimes you might have to go in the mirror and remind yourself who the fuck you are. I literally forgot I was Azura DragonFaether for like 3 years when I wasn't posting on this channel. And I was never more depressed. I was never more depressed and sad and lost and afraid. And then I remembered what made me happy. And that's the dragons and the hatchlings and helping people be their geeky, cheeky, and freaky selves. That is my lifeblood. That is my purpose. And sometimes I wasn't able to figure that out during the demands of the day, during the demands of the hustle and bustle of work, and the traffic, and everyone talking at me, you know what I mean, at work or something like that. I only was able to remember myself in the stillness of the night, right? So don't be afraid to wait the night. And then we're just going to pull some message cards for you really quick, just so we can really get that kind of, that direction, right? So we have Dragon's Delight. Your laughter is music to we dragons, for we wish for you the uplifting energy of laughter, making you so light you too can fly with us. Ah, yeah, dude. It's what's coming through is really like, what makes you so joyful? What brings your joy more than anything? Like, what makes you feel alive? Like, you have to do everything you can to laugh. Like, you have to do everything you can to be like, like, even if you force that shit, because your brain doesn't know. This is the cool thing about neuroscience. You might sound a little kooky at first when you try and force a laugh, but when you keep going, you're gonna just start laughing at how ridiculous you are, and that will genuinely uplift you. I look forward to talking to you all in the Discord in the next live stream. Yay, me too! We gotta do these lives more often. They are seriously so much fun. I love them, but seriously, I need you to take in part of the Dragon's Delight, my dear friend. It's so critical for you to find what brings you laughter, what brings you that childlike wonder, and what helps keep you playful. That is like the main word I have for you today, Corrupted, is be playful in every single way that you can. Make every single part of your day playful. Okay? So, thank you so much for letting me read for you. That was a really fun one, actually. I feel like I definitely needed some of the wisdom from that one too today. And we are going to do is vodka, right? Vodka's clarity cards really quick. And then we're gonna do one more reading from TikTok, and then we'll do a collective reading before we get out of here. And I always love doing these readings so very much. And every single time I do them, I like forget how much I love them. So we are going to do everything we can in our power to be back as soon as we can. So if you missed the opportunity to get a reading tonight, we will be back very soon because every single time I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared to go live because hey, I'm human, all right. I get nervous sometimes. Also, my phone's about to die. Holy shit! So I better hurry up. But for vodka, we're just going to do these Dragon Magic message cards as well. I thought you said laughter Yoda. That fits too because he was very playful still. Yeah, dude, Yoda has so much good wisdom too, by the way. Um, I I don't see a name to call you, so I'm just gonna call you the Heart Gun. I know that sounds funny, but yeah, I'll definitely pull your cards next. But here we go. So we're just gonna draw some clarity cards for you, Vodka, my friend. Let's see. Abraham. Okay, perfect. Here we go. We're gonna use these ones. Ooh, guess what? We also just grabbed Dragon's Delight as well, and we grabbed Dragon Treasure. We're gonna grab a couple more. So that laughter message is for you too, Vodka, by the way. But we're going to grab one more. Here we go. All right. So we have three clarity cards for you. Let's go through them for how to break those chains. And again, we just talked about Dragon's Delight. I'm going to read it again. It says, your laughter is music to we dragons. We wish for you the uplifting energy of laughter, making you so light you too can fly high with us. High. The best way to break those chains is to laugh in the face of danger. No, I'm so serious. Um, Finding what brings you joy again is going to remind you how to be light-hearted. Light of heart, faint of touch, speak you little, listen much. I know that's from the Wiccan Read, okay? But like, tune into what that means. It's about making sure that you purify your heart of what keeps you heavy, that you walk this world without leaving a trace, right? When we go out into nature, you have that leave no trace kind of thing. And that also means tread lightly around others, how you affect others. And if you do affect others, uplift them. Don't depress them, uplift them, right? So definitely take some time to be playful, all right? And allow yourself to have little tiny joys, right? Remember things that really brought you joy when you were in your childhood, like, hey, hi, hello, I love video games, okay? So I will do everything I can in my power when I'm not feeling well to play games that remind me of being a kid, that, help bring me joy in those moments where I feel overwhelmed from the adult bullshit of it all, right? And next we have Dragon Treasure. We dragons have treasure, which we guard with ferocity. We are also generous, and we now transfer some of our own treasure to you. It shall come to you in mysterious ways. Find what feels like true treasure to you. That is how you're going to break your chains and unbind yourself, because I would argue being bound and being like chained and unable to hit your freedom and feeling restricted is genuinely the absence of treasure. Because when we go and look for treasure, that's about adventure, that's about freedom, that's about expression and discovering who you are. So please discover who you are and embrace the treasure whenever and wherever it comes to you. And lastly, we have Dragon Wealth. Let go of fears that you are not worthy or that you are incapable of coping with success. You need not fear the bright light that shines within. The world needs your energy, and now. Yeah, bestie. The world needs you to be free right now. And that genuinely goes for everybody. We need to be free right now. And sometimes we're not able to be free in a physical sense, but freedom starts within the brain. Freedom starts as a mentality. Freedom starts as a, what's the word? As a belief system. Allowing yourself to remember who you are, allowing yourself to be free in your thought, to think freely, sometimes is more of a luxury than some people even dare to give themselves. They're too afraid. They're too afraid of retaliation. They're too afraid of what might happen if they're successful. So definitely remember that you are already worthy of your freedom. And you have to allow yourself to challenge those thoughts that make you doubt it. You know what I mean? So I hope that those clarity cards helped. Definitely be playful. Definitely go find your treasure and remind yourself that you are the worth in your life. Truly. Of course. Thank you so much for letting me provide some clarity for you, my friend. Next, we're just going to jump over to TikTok for the last reading. We have, is someone manifesting me lately? And if yes, who could they be? I don't know, but let's see what the dragons have to say. We're going to use the Dragon Wisdom Oracle by, what's her name again? Christina Aaron Fader. Love this deck. Truly one of my favorites. But let's just see what we got for you. We're just going to see which one comes. Yes. Okay, so first we have Gratitude. I love this card. And then I'm here to pull from the Star Oracle deck. So let's pull some clarity cards from this one. We have Grief, Accepting Loss. Interesting. And then we have one more from this deck. And then we'll read them together. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And then we have Miracle, Making a Difference. All right. And then we're going to pull one card from the, what's it called? This one is called the Field Guide to Garden Dragons. I love it. It's amazing, by the way. Super cute, and they design all of the dragons in this one. And we have the Dragon Fruit Dragon. Oh my goodness, defense. All right, let's read these cards for you. So we're going to go in order here, just so we can interpret them right. So first we have Gratitude. First and foremost, be grateful you're on somebody's mind. Because even if it's a good or bad, right? Sometimes people manifest us in bad ways, and don't doubt that for a second. Some people literally just want to get a reaction out of you. They want you to talk about them. They want you to get in the mud with them. Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it. Ah, don't do it. It's literally a trap. It's a trap. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even express to you. Don't get in the mud with them, all right? If someone is manifesting you in a bad way. So, and you'll know it too, because chances are they're gonna say some wacky shit, spread rumors about you, twist everything you have to say, and no matter what you say, they're gonna call you a gaslighter. Trust me, I'm speaking from personal experience. I got way too many people on the TikTok app trying to fucking cancel me. But look, man, that just means you're living rent free in their mind. They can't get out of your energy, okay? They literally cannot accept who you actually are. So be grateful, because you are literally shining that bright and brilliantly. They cannot even handle it, all right? Also, in a good way, when people are manifesting you in a good way, it's also for the same reason. They can't get away from how drawn and magnetic that light of yours is. How your freedom or your expression just like ignites them in a way that like inspires them in a way, right? Like you're never going to know for sure. But either way, you should celebrate and be grateful, because like it's just reminding you how profound of an impact that you have, right? And next we have Grief, Accepting Loss. Sometimes, and I know this is going to sound absolutely insane, but it's true. Sometimes people start manifesting you the hardest when they lose you. Why? Why do they do that? It's because we don't realize what we had until we lost it. Or they're just mad they lost access to you, sweetheart. And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Because chances are, if you saw the real them and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. You know what I mean? That's your chance to grieve that relationship, and they need to grieve that relationship. And when they can't, they're going to try and do everything they can to get you back, to get your energy back, because it's that rich. Because you cultivate it for yourself. A lot of people are jumping from, trying to trend to trend, trying to fit in, and that's a really low energy. Okay? But if you literally define yourself, if you set your own standard for who you are, and when you see someone for who they are and you don't like that shit, and you're like, nope, hit the block button. Of course, they can't stop thinking about you. Hello. Hello. Um, Next, we have Miracle, making a difference. Yeah, it's giving I make a difference in people's lives. And sometimes when you're a really kind and compassionate soul, and you really do everything you can to support people, and you do everything you can to uplift people and celebrate them and, help them in the ways that they struggle. The second you decide that, hey, maybe this isn't the best space for me anymore, like the second you choose yourself is the second they're going to be angry as hell. Exactly, I actually do try. And that's the sign of somebody who's compassionate and somebody who's very empathetic and somebody who is a light in this world. It's probably so bright that you're blind to your own abundance. I'm going to say that again. Your light is so bright, you're blind to your own abundance. Of course, people are trying to manifest your attention. What? Okay. Like, the second that you choose yourself, people are offended because that means there's not enough room for them at the table anymore. Holy crap, I'm covered in chills. This is so accurate. Like, look at this card here. We have this, like, a beautiful, like, dragon that's like, what's it? Like a blue, silver, and pink. And it's coming down to a lantern, right? It's giving you are the light within the lantern and you're attracting such a beautiful mythical magic. And people are in awe of that. And sometimes it's so normal for you, you actually don't realize how profound of an impact you're having. Like, fave colors, hell yeah. Then, like, don't forget, like, our favorite colors are our favorite colors for a reason, my friends. They resonate with your soul, they inspire you, they remind you to shine in a particular spectrum, of course. This is one of my favorite colored cards in the deck, too. It's just such a beautiful color palette. Imagine yourself when you do your meditations, if you do, like surrounded in those colors, your favorite colors, and watch how you just feel so much lighter. Watch the magical miracles that you attract. And, just like beautiful moths are attracted to flames and light in the night, so are fucking mosquitoes, bestie. And mosquitoes want to take your life force away. You gotta swap that shit. Get the fuck away. Okay? Like, literally don't lose your discernment when it comes to deciding who does and who doesn't deserve access to your energy. And lastly, we have, speaking of access to your energy, we have Dragon Fruit Dragon for defense. And look at how adorable this dude is. Stop it. Oh my gosh, this deck, the field guide to garden dragons, it's the best. I can't believe it. But look at this guy. All about defense. Look how armored he is on the outside and how soft and squishy he is on the inside. That's really the vibe I'm getting for you. With such a genuine, kind, compassionate heart, we like to help everybody because we know what it's like to be forgotten. We know what it's like to be left behind. We know what it's like to lose. Okay? Do not let people in just because you feel sorry for them. Because guess who might be compromised in that? You. And guess what? You are just as worthy and deserving of love, care, and protection as the next person. And you belong to you first. So do whatever you can to defend yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical defense, right? Although it is good to have like knowledge of like physical defense, okay? Self-defense, that's what I'm looking for. But when it comes to being defensive, it's so critical to use your discernment on who and what you need to be defended from and who and what deserves access to your soft underside, to your kindness, your caring, your compassion, your help and awareness. Do you know what I mean? So please take your time. Remember to be grateful for who you are. Sounds like you're a rock star in the world that you live in. And don't forget to grieve the loss of relationships and let people literally grieve you, okay? And lastly, make that difference for yourself. be the miracle for yourself by allowing yourself to shine your light and allowing people to come to you no matter where you are. And at the end of that, using your discernment and not shaming yourself if you decide certain people don't have access to you. That is the biggest thing. That is the hardest thing for people who are very empathetic and who love to help people. You have to not be ashamed of saying no. No, thank you. I release you with love. And of course, that's going to be your number one self-defense tactic is learning how to say no. So, thank you so much for letting me read for you tonight. I genuinely loved that reading. It was very, very much necessary. I think a lot of us can resonate with it when we, ourselves are very empathetic and we just love to help people and we love to care for people and we want to be there for people and remind them that they aren't alone. But it's great to do these things, but there's a lot of people who feed on people's energy like that, and that's also not fair to you. Like you don't want to give, give, give and not give yourself too. You got to pour into your own cup too. Noted. Thank you so much for taking your time. Of course, always. It's such an honor to read for you. But we're going to do a reading for everybody here to before we get out. Oh, thanks, Bewitched, for the tip again. Many people don't know their self-worth. Choosing yourself isn't selfish. You have to take care of yourself first, as you can't pour from an empty cup. Ooh, 3 likes for a reason, bestie. Like, that is so true. Like, we genuinely, let's just take my tea bottle. It's half full or is it half empty? If I don't take a sip first, and I give everybody a sip before I take a sip, I might end up dehydrated. I might end up thirsty. And then I'm depleted and unable to help those that I love. That's why we gotta put the oxygen mask on ourselves first. And I know it seems counterintuitive, but it's so true. So, so true. But I'm gonna take a sip of this. We're gonna do our last reading for what the Beltane Dragons have for us today. Then we're going to open our dragon blind box, and I will see you in the Hatchling Clan Discord server after this. If you haven't joined us already, please do so. It's free for everybody because everyone deserves dragons. We just hit 900 members. I'm about to drop an exclusive ritual over there for you guys. Don't tell anyone. It's just for the Hatchling Clan members, okay? We do giveaways over there every 100 members because we're so grateful for all of you guys joining us, and we want to offer you guys as much resources as you can that you can't get anywhere else, just to say thank you for joining us. And it's the first link in the description over here on YouTube, and it's the first link over here on TikTok and my website directory. If you would like to join us, we would love to have you there. So let's do this last Beltane reading. We're going to pull from the Star Dragon Oracle first. We're going to pull a couple cards from a few of the decks, probably one from each actually. Let's do that. So we're going to first pull a card from here, see what the main takeaway for Beltane is. Ooh, it's 1111 here. Shout out to 1111. Oh, thank you. Minoj, is that how you say your name? Thank you for the follow. So we have the first card is Surrender, letting go of the darkness. Ooh, love that. Next, we're going to pull, oops, sorry for bumping the mic. Oh, am I able to grab this? I don't know. Next, we're going to pull a card from the Oracle of DragonFaether by Lucy Cavendish for whatever guardian we should work with, what energies we should focus on, and what archetype we should tap into. Ooh, New Moon Fae for Soul Scrying. And then next, we're going to pull from the Garden Dragons again. Let's see which one comes out for us for this collective reading. Let's just shuffle one more time. Whoa! Looks like we got more than one out of this one. It just spit it all at me. We got the Apple Dragon and the Radish Dragon for health and growth. And then we're going to do the Dragon Wisdom Oracle from Christina Allen Fader. And we have the Air Chalice. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to do a really mega reading for the ending on this one. And then we're going to pull a card from the Gothic Oracle by Anne Stokes. Literally, probably top 3 favorite dragon artists. For real, I love her art so very much. We have Inner Strength from this deck. And lastly, we'll pull some dragon messages from the Dragon Magic messages after this one. So let's just put these guys in order first so I can read them in order. I personally prefer reading cards in order. Some people don't, but what do you guys think? Do you think reading cards in order is better, or does it really matter? I don't know. I think it's kind of different for every situation. So, first we have surrender, letting go of the darkness. And I love this card's imagery. It's like this beautiful green woman who really reminds me of like Mother Earth. And she has a little dragon on her head with flowers on her crown, and the dragon has like pink tipped leaves. Such a beautiful card. And this card is sincerely about allowing yourself to just stop controlling everything. The world is really scary right now, and it's not your responsibility to control everything. You cannot put the burden of this life on your shoulders. You can't put the burden of fixing everything on your shoulders. You will burn out, you will disappear. Do you understand me? You will disappear. This is why it's so important to let go of the darkness that you see, so you allow yourself to become the light. You allow yourself permission to be joyful. You allow yourself permission to shine, to laugh, to play when the world seems to be collapsing around you. We only live this life once. And there is no right or wrong way to do that. There's simply choices. There's simply just choices to choose where you go. And you can choose to be like deep in the mud, in the muck. You can choose to be doom scrolling. You can choose to be afraid. You can choose to fear monger. Or, my new favorite word, you can choose to hope monger and just relentlessly tell people why they have every reason to be excited, but most importantly, yourself. Surrendering yourself to allow yourself to step out of that darkness will remind you that the world is actually not as sad as everyone wants you to think it is. Especially if you're on technology a lot, your algorithm is tuned to make you emotional. Why? Because that's what keeps you watching. This is just human psychology. I'm sorry. This is a sales technique. People do not buy products, they buy feelings, okay? So they also stay working to make you feel a certain way, right? This is why it's so important to ask yourself whenever you are consuming content, what is this supposed to make me feel right now? Is this making me feel good or bad, and who benefits? Right? Like, who's making money from my feelings right now? Like, cuz it's real. This shit's real. Like, please do not doubt it for a second. Oh, thank you so much, Moon Spirit, for the tip. I like literally cannot tell you or stress this enough. Like, you have to allow yourself to surrender. You have to allow yourself to just trust the outcome. And no matter what darkness you see, you have to allow yourself to keep shining bright. You have to. I could certainly jump into a voice channel on the Discord channel in a bit, perhaps. We do have a voice channel. We got so many requests for one that so many people were asking for it that we'd made one. It's under the Hatchling Hangout category, so definitely utilize that to hang out with our fellow hatchlings. Next, we have the New Moon Phase Soul Scrying. Part of surrendering and letting go of the darkness is scrying on your soul in that darkness, is allowing yourself to get in touch with who you are. Everything is in constant competition for your attention. Please allow yourself to give yourself the most attention. The most important relationship you will have in this life is the one you have with yourself. Please take it from me. I spent my 20s living for other people, and I regret it every single day. That is why my journey is reminding anyone I can who's in their 20s and their teens to focus on you first, and everything else will fall into place. The second that I chose to be myself, to pour into my own cup, suddenly I had an overflowing chalice, which we're going to get to the air chalice in a second, but I had an overflowing chalice where I was able to pour into other people again. But that wouldn't have been possible if I didn't allow myself to cultivate my own soul, to get to know who I am again, to be there for me and to love me for all of the good, bad, and ugly, and not shame myself, because everybody makes mistakes and sometimes we learn the hard way. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way. Sometimes we can't, learn from everybody online or all the books. We can't live a perfect life. That doesn't exist. That's not real. That's a lie. And people want to convince you that you can live the perfect life to keep you on their page, to keep you buying their products, etc., etc. But when was the last time that you invested into you for you? When was the last time that you allowed yourself to start anew regardless of who you were in the past? It's so incredibly possible. People forget. We also have these two dragons from the Garden Dragons. We have the apple dragon for health and the radish dragon for growth. Let me tell you something. The best thing you can do for your health and your growth is investing into yourself. I know that that sounds like so cliche as well, but don't underestimate how even just 5 minutes of time in like a meditation for yourself, don't underestimate how making yourself a cup of tea and really taking your time with that, don't underestimate how putting your phone down for 15 minutes and reading a book that you enjoy or playing a game that you like really contributes to your health, happiness, and growth. Like, you cannot grow, you cannot heal, you cannot be happy if you don't have that balance of investing into yourself as well as investing into others as well as investing into things that you care about. Don't neglect yourself. It is the easiest person to neglect, and somehow we're here with ourselves 24/7. Why is that? Because our world is socialized to where you have to work for somebody else. You have your value dependent on how someone else perceives you, how far of a promotion you get, how much you can care and nurture someone else. It's like your place in this world is dependent on that. It's not. Okay, it's not. Like, your health and your wealth comes from how much you know yourself, comes from how much time you spend with yourself, how much care you take with yourself, and who you believe you are. At the end of the day, are you proud to be who you are? Are you proud of the growth that you've had? Are you proud of the wealth that you've invested into yourself? Because if the answer is no, you got a lot of work to do, and that's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be excited about. The journey to get to know yourself is the most exciting, precious journey, and people want to treat it as a chore. It's not a chore to heal yourself. It's not a chore to grow. It's not a chore to be healthy. Okay? Don't forget. And then we have the air chalice. See, when we, like, the element of air is associated with creativity, it's associated with wisdom and knowledge, it's associated with freedom and higher views. And when you fill yourself with knowledge and you fill yourself with higher perspectives and you fill yourself with the ability to be creative and new ideas and thinking outside of the box and wisdom from all around the world, you become a rain cloud that showers over everybody and helps the grass grow again. Mm. Do not underestimate how powerful you are when you invest in your mind. The most valuable thing on this planet are human brains. They would like you to think it's something else, like that Gucci bag or whatever. No, your intelligence and how you contribute that wisdom to others is the most valuable resource in this world. Why else would we be fighting for your attention? Because when you have your attention on somebody else's pot of gold, their pot of gold grows. But when you invest your attention onto you, your pot of gold grows. Your chalice becomes overflowing with rainbow light. All right. And lastly, before we pull the message cards, we have inner strength. I love this card, by the way. It's really beautiful. It takes a lot of inner strength to choose yourself in this world. It's really, really easy to choose to show up for somebody else and invest in their ideas. It's very easy to do that. You can literally just find one creator that you like and just constantly invest in their energy and in their channel and, keep refreshing the page for when they post again. But ultimately, what does that do? It'll leave you hollow because your value is now tied to external sources. That's why inner strength is the most valuable thing here. Having the inner strength to say, no, I'm going to put my phone down. No, I'm going to read a book for me. No, I'm going to see what I think about this first before I make a choice. These are the tiny decisions in your day to day that allow you to cultivate the life that you want. People talk about manifestation all the time. Real method to manifesting is your choice. What are you choosing to spend your time on? Your time is the only depleting resource in this world. And if you're not cultivating your time and developing your inner strength to make better choices, bestie, you're gonna have a lot of hardships that are self-inflicted, and it's not gonna be easy to admit that you kind of contributed to your own downfall a little bit. Also speaking from personal experience. I started investing myself so much into what like my boyfriends thought of me. I started investing so much a long time ago into what I thought my viewers wanted to see on my channel, or what my parents expected of me, or what my teachers needed me to do, what made me the perfect student. When ultimately what made me the perfect student was choosing I have the strength to say no. I'm not going to invest my time into that. When I had the choice to say no, I'm going to practice what I believe in instead. These are the choices every single day, the tiny little minute details that are going to determine your legacy, that will determine your destiny. They happen right here, right now, in the tiny moments every single day. And it takes a lot of inner strength to make the right decisions for you. And you're gonna make mistakes sometimes, but when those mistakes happen, we have to learn from them. And we have to allow ourselves to not shame ourselves in that process when we extract the wisdom from our mistakes. Self forgive, like people say, oh, you gotta forgive this person. Forgiveness is for you first, by the way. For the part that you played, for not walking away when maybe you thought that you should, for staying somewhere too long when you knew that you shouldn't have. Gotta give yourself forgiveness, right? And lastly, we're just gonna do a couple more messages before we open the blind box. Okay, let's see. Whoop. Here we go. Well, we're gonna do 3, I think. Hold on. These cards are hard for me to shuffle. Holy crap. Ooh, excuse me. Like that almost like hit me in the eye. My goodness. Okay. Jumpy. Very jumpy, this deck. Okay, let's see. We have, let's do this in order. First, we have Dragon of the Old Ways. You are a child of the old ways, the ancient practices of the ancestors, wise and connected. The ways of the earth and the stars. Let the dragons reconnect you. Let the wisdom flow. Tap into the story of your body. What do I mean by that? Where do you come from? Even if you don't do, DNA tests, and I don't recommend doing DNA tests, even if you don't know where you come from for whatever reason, if you take the time to sit with yourself in stillness and get to know who you are, you will find your lineage. You will find where you come from. You will find that path that got you here. So many things have had to happen in order for you to exist. It's a gift. Tune into those old ways. Next, we have Dragon's Luck. Good fortune will be yours now. We have been collecting abundance, fortunate meetings, all manners of good things for you, human child. We send them to you now. Know thou art blessed. You are so fortunate beyond words, like you don't even know how lucky you are, even if you're just watching this video right now. So many people don't have internet connection. So many people don't have food in their bellies. They don't have lights on in their home. They don't have Wi-Fi. They don't have phones. They don't have a roof over their head. They don't have people who care about them. You are so wealthy. Allow yourself to open your mind to the possibilities of the new opportunities that can come for you and from you, and allow yourself to be open to receiving them. You don't have to be a certain level of acceptable in order to have fortune follow you. Your existence is gold. There is so much richness simply in the human body. And lastly, we have Dragon Pledge. Commitment is a skill we dragons nurture. We now send all you need to do what must be done next. All will be clear. Simply whisper, I commit, and it will be so. Commit to yourself. Commit to what you've been putting off. Commit to cultivating who you are. Commit to cultivating a life that you love. And if it doesn't look the way that you want it to right now, that's okay. Sometimes building this life that you want to live is going to be painstaking work. It doesn't happen overnight and it's going to take time, brick by brick by brick. The key here is consistency. You can't build a wall, like speed run it, right? And then expect to show up and do the same thing the next day. No, brick by brick by brick. Okay? And before my phone dies, that's all the readings we have for tonight. But I hope that we're able to open this really quick. So this is the blind box. These are the ones that we can get. Which one do you think that we got? Which one do you think that we got, my friends? This is, hold on. This is the one that I have already. This guy. So if we pull this little dude again, we're going to be doing a giveaway of all the duplicates of this particular blind box while I collect them all in the Hatchling clan. So I think we're gonna get this guy on the front or the green one. So let us know what you think. I'm gonna guess the super rare. Okay, let's see which one we got. Okay, this is kind of a challenge to open. So let's just go, my friends. And if you miss this live, I will be editing it into shorts as well. So you can also watch the playback on my YouTube as well if you want to come back again. So let's see. Ready, set, drum roll, please. We have, oh my gosh, guess what, you guys? Okay, we have, what? Everything just spilled out at me. Okay. Let's see. This one is the black guy. Oh my gosh, he's holding a bunny. Why is he holding a bunny? That is the cutest little thing. So these ones come with a figure, a little egg, and a card in each one. I really love that it comes with cards. That's so fancy. So we got this little one. Look at him. Why does it have a bunny? It's so precious. But look, this is the back of him. His little horns. Super cool. I love all of them. I literally can't be disappointed with this blind box, which is really rare for me. Adorable. Because here, we'll put him right here. Hopefully you can see him. Because I love all the dragons, all right? The dragons are absolutely precious. So there is literally no way for me to be upset and disappointed. And then look at the little egg on this one. There's like little eyes. I love him so much. I can't. They're so special. Like, what are you doing? Look at him. He's just little peeking out. So here's his little egg. Put it right there. And then this is his dragon card. So cool and fancy in a little forest with like this golden lightning. So special. So thank you guys for tuning into the live today. I hope you enjoyed our little blind box ending and you enjoyed our readings. If you missed your free reading, stay tuned because we do live readings here and they're always free for everyone to enjoy because everyone deserves dragons. And if you haven't joined us in the Hatchling clan yet, we're working our way to 1,000 members now and there's going to be a $100 giveaway when we get there and you definitely aren't going to want to miss out on that opportunity. So we are very excited to see you. It's the first link in the description box here on YouTube and here on the directory on my website, link in my bio for TikTok. So that's all I have for you guys today. But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, every day, little hatchlings. Allah Hafiz, blessed be, and Amin, and I will see you in the Hatchling clan because please follow me so I don't get lost. Do you know what I mean? See you very soon. And thanks for tuning in. Happy Beltane, by the way. Blessed Beltane, my loves. We'll see you very soon.